now lives in an $8 million house outside of Detroit, Michigan. When I saw that $8 million house, I said, man, brother had a reason. Because in the song, what did he say? He said, failure, not an option. He said, failure, not an option. You see, and that's what some of you haven't understood. So you walk out of these doors with some D's, and you go, well, at least I didn't flunk. You get some C's, and you go, well, that ain't too bad. C's not your best effort, ladies and gentlemen. You're just doing just enough to get by. Because in the song, he said this. He says, what? You only get one shot. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what a lot of you haven't really started to understand about this thing. You only get one shot at this thing called life. Whatever goals, whatever dreams you say are in here, whatever it is you want to accomplish, you get one opportunity at it. You don't get to be 50 years old, make a bunch of bonehead mistakes, squander your life, and then you wake up one morning when you're 50 and you sit there on the side of the bed and you go, okay, I think I got it figured out now. You can't come back, knock on some teacher's door for 20 years now and say, hey, remember me? I was a class comedian 20 years ago. Didn't take my schoolwork serious. Can I take my class over? No, ladies and gentlemen, you get one shot. So for those of you who sit there and say you got goals and dreams in here, ladies and gentlemen, you better understand. You get one shot at this thing called life. Like I said, I'm older than you are. 30 years ago, I was in Seattle, Washington. Had a cousin play with the Seahawks. Went out there to run the mountains, get shape while I was out there. One morning, he said, come on, Michael, we're going to go see Field Night. And when he said Field Night, went right over my head like it did yours. But you'd have spent plenty of money with it. Field Night owns Nike. He pulled up in this parking lot. A couple other guys played with the Seahawks were there. Field Night pulled up a few minutes later, popped up in his van, pulled out about 50 pairs of Nikes. He gave all of us about 10 or 12 pairs of shoes apiece. We gave Field Night less than $20 total for over 50 pairs of shoes. Just get Nike started, get some shoes on some people's feet. All he wanted was a little gas money, a little lunch money. A couple years ago, I'm reading my newspaper. I see where Field Night gave LeBron James $70 million to wear his shoes. And for some reason, when I was reading that article, I was flashing back to that day in that parking lot. I said, man, just a few years ago, Field Night was hustling shoes out the trunk of his car. Now, he can give LeBron James $70 million. That's just LeBron James. Don't tell him how much the rest of them get. I said, he had a reason. No, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not saying you got to have an $8 million house. I'm sure not saying you got to own a company like Nike. I'm saying whatever your goals, whatever your dreams are, ladies and gentlemen, find a reason. Quit making excuses. Quit coming to school with that attitude. It's not going to allow you to succeed. Come into school with these doors each and every day, ladies, determined. And watch what happens. Because like I said, people get good with this word. 20, 30 years down the road, they sing this song. And it's called, If I Coulda, Woulda, Shoulda. And ladies and gentlemen, trust me, you do not want to sing If I Coulda, Woulda, Shoulda 30 years down the road. And some of you will. You'll say, oh, I should have listened to my teachers. I could have had a better job. Ooh, I would have had a better life. You don't want to do that. You do not want to be in that position. Reason or excuse. You get one shot. Another thing about that is this one. Sad to say, ladies and gentlemen, 17,000 high schools in America, 17,000. And you know something? There's not one that's drug, alcohol free. There's not one. All 17,000 got element of young people have started. This one too. And you want to know why? Because you're out there making excuses. You, the generation, been hearing these talks, has been this little, dare officers, Red Ribbon Week and all that, not one. And I'm going to show you a situation last year in Chicago, this past school year. Some high school seniors, they wanted to hang out. But they wanted to hang out a lot longer than their parents would allow them. So they came up with this idea. They said, hey, we'll sneak out of the house when our parents fall asleep. Probably like maybe a few of you've done. Their parents fell asleep, snuck out the house. They met up at the appointed spot. When they got to the spot, they said, okay, let's get the alcohol. They got the alcohol. A couple of guys in the group had some. One of the guys in the group said, hey, man, I was working with this guy this summer. He was turning this factory into luxury condominiums. He said, we get downtown, break into the building, we can get to the rooftop. He said, we can party, drink undetected, and we'll have a spectacular view of the city of Chicago. They went down, they broke in that building, they got to the rooftop, they partied up, drank it up, smoked it up, and I don't know exactly what happened, but there was this 18-year-old girl named Sarah. She fell through this glass skylight on this 5-story building. She fell through 5 stories to her death. About 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, there was a knock on her parents' door. State trooper said, sir, father came down and answered, sir, your daughter's been in a tragic incident. Father said, my daughter's upstairs asleep, dog. So, your daughter's been in an accident, come on, go with us. He said, hold on. Now I can imagine that father walking back up them stairs. Every step he took, heart pounding. Father said, Sarah, please be up here so I can go tell this gentleman he got the wrong house. He got his daughter's door, opened her bedroom door up, nowhere to be found. Reality set in. He went with the state troopers, went and surveyed the factory, was turned into luxury condominiums. And why I made a really big story in Chicago was because the day after he buried his daughter, he went and got his high-priced attorneys, went to sue the man who was turning the factory into luxury condominiums. The first judge said, man, is you crazy if you don't get out of here with that nonsense? He wasn't satisfied. His attorneys went to the highest courts in Illinois. They said, yeah. See, they did what the father did if you hadn't already followed along. The father said this. He said, my daughter's not dead because she snuck out the house disobedient to my wife and I. He said, my daughter's not dead because her and her friends went drinking underage unlawful. He said, my daughter's not dead because her and her friends broke into somebody's private property, criminal trespass. He said, my daughter's dead because that man didn't have that skylight secured. No, ladies and gentlemen, his daughter is dead because she snuck out the house disobedient. She is dead because her and her friends stopped drinking and underage was okay. She is dead because broke into somebody's private property. See, that's how it works. Now her life is upside down, tore up, as they say, from the floor. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not trying to be funny. I am not trying to be funny. But when she was falling, I wonder what she was thinking. Was she saying, oh, I wish I'd never snuck out the house? When she hit that ground, couldn't nobody go up to her and say, Sarah, do you see what can happen now? It's over. You know, ladies and gentlemen, 18 years old, she's not going to ever got a chance to go to that prom. She's not going to ever walk down the church of an aisle of a church in a pretty white dress to that music, Here Comes the Bride. And she sure will never ever walk out of a hospital carrying a little bundle of joy. That was her one shot. No do-overs. Ladies and gentlemen, some of you better start wising up. You who out there making those excuses. Because what's so sad about it is this. When you were in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade, all sweet, all innocent, you were in your little classrooms in elementary school, and you was like, Miss Smith, I'm not going to never do drugs, Miss Smith, because drugs can kill you. Sitting in your grandma and granddad's lap talking about, Grandma, Granddad, anybody ever offer me drugs? I'm just going to say no. Now you 15, 16, 17, 18, you done got cool, think can't nobody tell you that, and you done started doing it. And ladies and gentlemen, if anybody try to make any more out of this than what I'm doing, the way we do now, if you try to make any more out of this, you're just a troublemaker. You know why some of you have started? This is exactly why you started, the bottom line. Friday night, Saturday night, whenever it is, you put on your little outfit and you get ready to go hang out with your friends to do those things that you've been worn since you've been this little, things that you said you wouldn't do when you were this little. The reason some of you are doing it now is right before you walk out the door to go hang out with your friends, you do this. And then you go do it, making excuses. Hadn't that changed? Ladies and gentlemen, the other part of that story is this. When my teacher told us to go get those boxes, bring them back to school, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, my teacher could have did this. She could have said, well, I care if their mom ain't getting that. I'm hooking my mom up. When my teacher told us to go get those box ladies, she was teaching us something a book couldn't do. Going above and beyond. Won't no principals in elementary school be walking down the hallway Mother's Day week talking about, hey, how them presents going in there? She was going above and beyond. You know why I say, ladies and gentlemen, is this? In my opinion, it's more close to fact than opinion. Teachers are the most underpaid, unappreciated profession all of America. Ladies and gentlemen, a teacher will catch you out here in this hallway doing something, and all they're trying to do is help you be the kind of person you say you want to be, just trying to teach you right from wrong in some moments. And instead of you being accountable, being responsible for your actions, this is what you do. When they catch you out in the hallway saying something to you, and you try and flip it, and you walk down the hallway doing this. Who she thinks she is? She get on my nerves. She make me sick. And your little friend be walking down the hallway, what you talking about? Yeah, I know. I can't stand her neither. She always got something to say. Right? Excuse me. That's the female version. If I did the male version, I might have to use some of them words I don't use no more. But let's be honest, guys, and ladies using them words too, ain't they? Yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, please. Ladies and gentlemen, do you realize something? That when teachers came to their turn to go off to college to be something in life, they could have said, man, I'm going to college, take me some business course so I can learn how to own my own business so I can get paid. They could have said, I'm going to college to be a doctor, lawyer, so I can make me a lot of money. No, they went to school for 4 years, spent thousands and thousands of dollars of their money so they could come back to help you. You're their reason. They come to these doors each and every day trying to help you succeed. And you'll walk down the hallway talking about what teacher you don't like, what teacher get on your nerves. You'll be real careful with that conversation. Let's see what happens when it's your turn to go off to be successful. Let's see if you'll turn back around and come back and be underpaid, unappreciated, and help somebody who's going to walk down the hallway talking about you. Let's see if you do that. Be careful with that conversation like you're so perfect. And if they ever teach you out here in the hallway, maybe come up on a moment at the end, don't get all the facts, and they did a little wrong, you let them slide. And you know why? Because they went to school for 4 years and thousands of dollars of their money. You let them slide. And if anybody's sitting out there going, oh, he's just sucking up to the teachers, because that's probably something you're trying to flip it. If you're saying I'm trying to suck up to the teachers, lady, let me tell you something. I'm 55 years old. I got all the degrees I need. When you suck up, that means you're trying to set somebody up so you can get something out of them. Ladies and gentlemen, in about 6 or 7 hours, I'm going to be on a plane back to Chicago. At this point in time in my life, I don't need to suck up. No offense, no teaching here. I don't need no favors at this point in my life. I'm keeping it real. Ladies and gentlemen, they come to these doors to help you succeed. So you'll be real careful when you start getting that attitude. And if any of you say, oh, well, they get paid, yeah, they get paid. But not half, nearly nowhere near the amount they have to deal with some of the attitudes some of you bring to this building. So ladies and gentlemen, be careful. Be respectful of a person who went to school for 4 years, came back to help you. Be respectful of that. To be a success in life, you can't go through life making excuses. You got to find commitment and dedication. Drugs and alcohol want to do one thing, and that's destroy those dreams. And those teachers that come to these doors, they come here to help you, so be kind and respectful. Make that be a two-way street. I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for your attention. May God bless you.